Polytunnels are magic. Let me show you why. It is November and 6 degrees out here, and the whole world is going to sleep. But inside here, it is 18 degrees. We don't use any additional heating. It's just the magic of the sun and a sheet of plastic. Now at night, it does get cold. You can see the frost is beginning to damage some of the more tender plants. So we need to harvest the rest of our summer veg today. We also need to collect in all the old plants to turn them into wonderful compost and clear out these beds to make way for our winter planting. So plenty to get on with. And turn this into this. So we best get on with it. One of the plants we had a lot of success with this year is our tomatoes. I made a video a couple of months ago showing how to get these green tomatoes to go red, and we indeed have had loads of lovely red tomatoes. They're so much better than anything you can get in the supermarket. Problem is, mice agree. We're having them climb up the vines and eat our tomatoes, which is really disappointing. So if you have a way of getting them to not climb up the vines, I'd love to hear it. Now, lots of them haven't yet gone red. Some of them I think will, just out on a sunny windowsill, but lots of them are still green. So I need a recipe. I don't like green tomato chutney, so if you know something to do with them other than that, I'd love to hear about it. So let's get these things harvested in. Another job we need to get on with today is storing our tomato plants. Now, tomatoes are actually perennials. If you live in a temperate part of the world like we do, the frost kills them every year and you've got to start again from seed. But if you live in a frost-free part of the world, they just keep growing year after year. Now we can use this to our advantage. If you take these suckers that normally you'd get rid of when you prune the plants and put them into some water on a sunny windowsill, they'll grow roots. Change the water every couple of weeks, and in the springtime you can then pot them up. Another technique is to pull the plant out of the ground, clean all the soil off of the roots, store it in some damp paper in a plastic bag in the bottom of your fridge, and in springtime, pop them in the ground. You're ahead of the game. You already have a big healthy root system. This means we can be self-sufficient in tomatoes and never have to buy seeds again. And Hazel thinks gardening is very dull. Here's a plant you're definitely going to want in your polytunnel over the winter. It's called Rocket. It's very fast growing and frost hardy. It tastes quite peppery, so you can come down in the middle of the winter and get fresh greens, which is really, really nice. But what's more interesting than that are these. These are my Christmas potatoes. Now we put these in the ground June, I think it was, and we're trialing a couple of different things. We're using a no-dig technique, which means you can come down on Christmas morning, lift the straw, and there's your potatoes all nice and clean, no digging. We're doing these under straw, and we have some as well that are under grass over here, and then some in this plant pot, just to see which one does better. Now, when we first put these in the ground, or on the ground, this thing, Hazel, thought it was a wonderful, snuggly bed, and kept wallowing around on top of our potatoes, which wasn't going to do them any good at all. So we had to put these bamboo canes in here to keep her off of them, didn't we? Now, I've been itching to have a look under this straw to see how they're doing. Let's have a peek. All right, so if we move all this straw out of the way, aha, you can see, there we go. Aha, look at that. That is about half, 3/4 the size of a hen's egg. Fantastic. Now those potatoes are about that long and about half as fat as a hen's egg. I'm really impressed with how well they're doing. Now when I first put this straw down, I was concerned that the mice would have a party in it with a built-in snack cupboard being our potatoes, but it turns out it's quite wet and icky, so I don't think the mice are going to be doing that. The slugs, on the other hand, might be a problem. Fingers crossed on that one. Now, one of the great things about growing these inside a polytunnel is that they're still growing. If we had them growing outside, the frost would have already killed them and the growing would have stopped. So you can do this obviously in a polytunnel, greenhouse, even with fleece over it to protect them and keep them growing on. Now, today we need to put more straw down, more grass clippings to help these things grow as long as they can until the frosts do eventually get them. But I'm really impressed with this. Well, that's our polytunnel all sorted out. We've got the last harvest of the season, including this ridiculously oversized marrow. The beds are all cleared, ready for our winter veg to go in the ground, and Hazel's very happy that we're done gardening. Thank you for watching.